Humanity is transing, much like the MAGA movement has transitioned. The world of the West has taken our sexual dimorphism and transmutated that energy, that force that emerges from that, and displaced it into, or is in the process of displacing it into, economic dimorphism. What this means is that instead of women embodying the feminine and men embodying the masculine, there is a feminine market emerging and a masculine market, and each will absorb the appropriate gender. And AI is going to be the final sort of nail in the coffin to the world of sexual dimorphism. All that energy that used to emerge out of the male-female dynamic through the institution of the family is, during the Industrial Revolution was largely the beginning of this displacement, of taking the feminine energy and redirecting it toward the marketplace, taking the masculine energy and doing the same. We began with men. The market began displacing masculinity into the market. I think that's always been the case since early history. But femininity was co-opted as well and pushed into areas of healthcare, nursing, teaching, things that require the more nurturing qualities of the feminine. And those energies were displaced into the market. And these sort of two marketplaces emerged, a white-collar market and a blue-collar market. And the blue-collar market was always kind of associated with masculinity and always kind of selected for that. And then the white-collar market, there was both. Men and women could participate in that. But I've noticed in the last 30 years that marketplace has become increasingly feminine. And, you can't really make it in that marketplace looking like I do. You can't have a beard, for example. I think what AI is going to do is going to accelerate that even further and make our marketplace entirely sexually dimorphic, where all of white collar is going to be, or most of it's going to be comprised of either women or very effeminate men. And we'll probably see for a period of transition, a transitionary period, as this becomes totally kind of pushes out men from that whole market. We're going to see a lot of unemployed men, and those who are fortunate enough to be married to a woman that is in the white-collar workforce. We'll see a lot of homes where the woman is the provider and men are the stay-at-home upbringers of the children. So we're experiencing a kind of complete reversal, at least in the urban part of the world. Over time, I'm sure that people, in particular men, will probably either transition into full blue-collar work or move into more of a rural style of living. But the marketplace that force, that industrializing force, has essentially tapped into the sexual energy that formed the foundation of civilization through the family. It, like a parasite, sucked that energy and took the women, pushing it into the more feminine workplace, and sucked the men and put them in the masculine workplace, though to an extent that's nothing new. Men have always been parasitized by the market. So it's a weird transitional period we're going through. And where this all leads, possibly, could be into a place of more balance, ironically. Maybe men and women will team up again. And instead of splitting everything 50-50, they'll each perform a very different task, contribute something different to the relationship, bring something very different to the table, and maybe families will become stronger again. That's my positive and optimistic view of where this could be headed. But our marketplace is soon to become entirely sexually dimorphic. Let me know what you think.